Welcome back to the audio bookshelf. We hope you enjoy the book, and please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons to get our latest content. Please enjoy. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, summarized, presented by Theo E. David, from the audio bookshelf. Have you ever felt the itch for power? It turns out we all do. The hunger for power is real, a game everyone is caught up in, whether they realize it or not. You're either a chess master of power moves or a pawn being shuffled around by someone else. In this video, we take a closer look at the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, where the author spills the secrets of this timeless game. Greene has dug up some rules based on historical tales dating back 3,000 years, showing how people either soared or crashed when wielding power. Greene's pitch is simple: embrace these laws to up your power game, or suffer the consequences. Let's get started. Law 1. Never upstage the boss. This law basically advises never overshadowing your boss. In other words, make your superiors feel superior, but avoid excessive flattery that triggers insecurity. Historical anecdotes, like Nicolas Fouquet's fate under King Louis XIV, underscore this law's relevance. To please the king, Fouquet threw a party so extravagant that everyone was talking about it, ignoring the king. Out of anger, the king had Fouquet arrested the next day and imprisoned for life. Here are 2 tips to ensure you never upstage the boss. 1. If you are naturally superior, adapt around insecure bosses. 2. Even if favored, don't overreach. Crafty flattery works: play naive, ask for advice, and credit their ideas. Galileo mastered this in the 1600s by glorifying the Medici family alongside his discoveries. Exceptions: if your superior is a fading star, don't be afraid to outshine them. If they are weak, cleverly hasten their downfall. If they are strong, but you know better, patiently wait for power shifts. Law 2. Be wary of friends, use enemies. This law emphasizes caution with friends and the utility of enemies. Friends can harbor envy and dishonesty, jeopardizing trust. Hire for skill over familiarity, as kindness to friends may breed resentment. Enemies can prove advantageous if turned to your cause, keeping you vigilant or bolstering your image. Notable figures like Talleyrand, Kissinger, and Emperor Sung strategically aligned with adversaries to achieve their aims. Exceptions: friends may handle risk and act as scapegoats. Balance this law by recognizing the potential of enemies and the unique contributions of friends. Law 3. Hide what you're up to. By keeping others uncertain and off balance, you limit their capacity to counteract your plans. People's trust in appearances makes it easy to mislead them. False sincerity, feigned changes of heart, and noble gestures create effective diversions. Employ smokescreens, familiar facades, to put others at ease and catch them off guard. Otto von Bismarck and Jay Gould provide historical examples of these tactics. Exceptions: when a deceiver's reputation precedes them, or the spectacle is more appropriate. Law 4. Say as little as possible. According to Greene, you must speak sparingly, using vague and ambiguous words to keep others guessing. Silence discomforts people, making them reveal more, while brief comments garner excessive attention, portraying significance and mystery. Andy Warhol exemplified this by letting his art speak for itself. King Louis XIV mastered silence, intimidating his court with enigmatic responses. Coriolanus's verbose boasting cost him an election. Exceptions: silence isn't best when avoiding suspicion, playing the fool, or using words to divert attention. In the realm of power, sometimes less truly means more. Law 5. Guard your reputation. Your appearance and the qualities associated with you are integral to your reputation. Craft a memorable trait to be recognized for, creating an aura of power. A strong reputation can precede your actions and impact outcomes. Protect your reputation from attacks, but avoid being defensive. Attacking others' reputations can benefit you, especially against more powerful opponents. Subtly undermine opponents with ridicule. The story of General Liang illustrates reputation's power. When lacking reputation, tarnish opponents' reputations to establish your own. Law 6. Attract attention. This law emphasizes the importance of standing out and being noticed. Greene advises being scandalous to garner positive and negative attention using any necessary means. To apply this, associate yourself with distinct traits, even if controversial. Historical examples include P.T. Barnum and Thomas Edison. Greene also advises cultivating mystery, as people are drawn to the enigmatic. Use silence, inconsistency, and eccentricity to intrigue others. This can lead to admiration and intimidation. Notable figures like Mata Hari and Mao Zedong exemplify this approach. Exceptions: balance is crucial, avoiding desperation for attention, and knowing when to step back. Law 7. Take credit for others' work. To gain power, it's essential to leverage others' efforts for your gain while claiming recognition. You can adopt two approaches: waiting for others to complete tasks and then appropriating them, or enlisting others actively and taking credit for their achievements. Historical instances illustrate both methods, such as Francisco Pizarro's betrayal of Balboa and artist Peter Paul Rubens's assembly line of painters. By assuming credit for collective work, you are perceived as capable. Notable cases involve Thomas Edison's treatment of Nikola Tesla. Exceptions: exercise caution, as greed for credit can backfire, particularly when overshadowing superiors. Henry Kissinger exemplified artful credit sharing. Law 8. Bait your enemy. Baiting your enemy makes opponents come to you, giving you control. Instead of using aggressive attacks, consider strategic trapping to force opponents into reacting, depleting their energy, and maintaining your initiative. Emotional manipulation, luring foes onto your turf, and capitalizing on their greed enhance this tactic's effectiveness. For instance, Talleyrand baited Napoleon back to France, leading to his ultimate defeat. Exceptions: surprise aggression can also disrupt opponents' responses. Choose tactics based on circumstances, luring to weaken or swift attacks for the weak. Law 9. Don't argue, demonstrate. Because arguing rarely changes minds and can breed resentment, use demonstrations to convey your point. Visual evidence is powerful and eliminates misinterpretations. Michelangelo crafting David altered the mayor's perspective to show the nose's perfection, avoiding offense. However, in cases of being caught lying, arguing can distract from deception. Count Victor Lustig exemplified this tactic by vociferously defending his swindles. Law 10. Misery is contagious, avoid it like a plague. Misery carriers breed negativity, affecting those around them. Guard against such people, recognizing signs like discontent, tumultuous histories, and charisma that clouds reason. In contrast, happy individuals spread positivity and enhance well-being. Talleyrand's charm benefited even conniving Napoleon. Lola Montez's destructive influence on the lives of those she encountered illustrates the dangers of misery carriers. Associate with those who exhibit qualities you admire, shunning negativity to foster personal growth and success. Law 11. Be needed. When you're indispensable, you can secure freedom and control. Power doesn't rely on isolation but on relationships with dependents, giving you influence and independence. Develop irreplaceable skills or knowledge, foster broad involvement, or possess secrets to become indispensable. Otto von Bismarck showcased this strategy by making Prussian kings reliant on him, thus securing his ascendancy. Exceptions: avoid complete independence for lasting power. Law 12. Disarm others by being nice. Honesty and generosity can distract and disarm people, allowing you to execute your plans without arousing suspicion. This approach appeals to the emotional responses of individuals, reminiscent of a child's eager gratitude. The con artist Victor Lustig successfully swindled Al Capone by employing selective honesty to surprise and distract him. Exceptions: this strategy should be approached with authenticity to avoid breaking trust. Law 13. Show others what's in it for them. Greene emphasizes the importance of appealing to the self-interest of individuals in positions of power when seeking their assistance. Instead of focusing on your needs, demonstrate how fulfilling your request benefits the other person. Historical examples like Portuguese missionaries versus Dutch traders illustrate this principle. Similarly, pragmatic self-interest should guide your appeals, as seen in the Corsair-Athens alliance. Exceptions: consider those who relish altruism for self-image. Law 14, seem like a friend, but be a spy. True power lies in acquiring information through spying. Spies, though useful, are risky, but being your own spy disguised as a friend is more effective. Listen attentively, especially at social events, subtly extracting secrets without arousing suspicion. Create traps by sharing misinformation and observing reactions. This knowledge yields predictive power, as seen in historical figures like Talleyrand and art dealer Joseph Duveen. Exceptions: be cautious of reciprocal espionage and consider sowing deception to gain the upper hand. Law 15, annihilate your enemy. Leaving even a spark of opposition can reignite into revenge. Historical leaders' mercy resulted in resentment and the eventual resurgence of enemies. To ensure security, obliterate their ability to retaliate. This doesn't always mean killing; banishment sufficed in the past. Empress Wu exemplifies this law, ruthlessly crushing rivals to maintain power. Exceptions: sometimes allowing opponents to self-destruct might work, but leniency can backfire. Law 16, don't wear out your welcome. Continuously being seen dulls your influence, but strategic withdrawal revives respect. This principle applies to relationships, economics, and fame. Notably, Joseph Duveen increased art value by making pieces scarce. Recognizing the right time to step away, like actress Greta Garbo retiring in her prime, sustains respect. Exceptions: this tactic requires the prior achievement of respect to be effective. Law 17, be unpredictable. People seek predictability, making unpredictability a potent tool. Such actions generate fear, confusion, and respect, keeping adversaries off balance. Chess legend Bobby Fischer bewildered Boris Spassky in 1972, leveraging unpredictability for victory. Exceptions: strategic predictability can be used as a smokescreen, yet this approach demands caution. In certain situations, it can lead to distrust and adverse consequences, so recognize when to deploy unpredictability for maximum impact. Law 18, don't isolate yourself. By cutting off information and contacts, you become vulnerable and unaware of threats. Instead, remain outgoing to gather crucial data, build alliances, and maintain power. Isolation, whether in military or personal strategy, leads to failure. French minister Talleyrand thrived by staying connected, even with unsavory characters. Historical figures like Louis XIV established dominance by staying at the center of activity. Exceptions: isolation can provide perspective, but temporary isolation is advised to prevent its pitfalls. Law 19, know your victim. Various types of individuals react diversely to deception. Avoid dealing with those who waste time or retaliate. Understand the oversensitive, insecure, pathologically suspicious, cold and calculating, and slow-witted or literal personalities. Failing to comprehend your targets results in wasted efforts or inviting trouble. Research and assess before engaging with someone, as appearances can be misleading. Historical examples like Genghis Khan, Henry Ford, and a Texas rancher demonstrate the consequences of misunderstanding opponents' personalities. Exceptions: none exist for understanding individuals before engaging with them. Law 20, don't take sides. There is an advantage in maintaining independence and not committing to any side or cause except oneself. By being unattainable, you garner respect and attention as both sides vie for your support. Henry Kissinger's example demonstrates how playing one side against another can yield personal advantage. Queen Elizabeth remained unmarried to retain her power, avoiding conflicts and securing peace. Law 21, make others feel smarter. By appearing naive or less intelligent, you disarm suspicion and encourage others to drop their guard. Bismarck employed this tactic to manipulate Count Blome into signing a treaty that favored Prussia. San Francisco con artists successfully swindled wealthy New York businesspeople by portraying themselves as bumbling rubes who stumbled upon a diamond mine. This law can help you advance by downplaying your abilities and making others feel good about themselves. Exceptions: use it cautiously and avoid overdoing it to prevent becoming a threat. Remember, exceptions include situations at the beginning of your career or when covering up deception with your intelligence and authority. Law 22, surrender to win. When faced with a stronger opponent, surrendering rather than fighting for the sake of honor can provide you with time to regroup and undermine your victor's power. Surrender confuses your opponent, allowing you to build strength and plan revenge while appearing compliant on the surface. This tactic requires self-control and patience to wait for the right moment to strike. By surrendering, you position yourself for future success when power dynamics inevitably shift. Examples: the story of King Gojian in ancient China and the case of Bertolt Brecht dealing with the House Un-American Activities Committee. While some situations might call for martyrdom, this law suggests that survival and future opportunities are more important than immediate honor. Law 23, focus your efforts. This law advises that in pursuing power, it's crucial to identify your key goal and focus your resources and efforts on achieving it. This principle can be applied to various aspects of life, including building alliances, achieving personal goals, and maintaining influence in organizations. Examples: the stories of Casanova's escape from prison, the successes of the Rothschild banking family, and the downfall of empires that expanded too broadly. While concentration can lead to success, there are also cases where it might be dangerous or too risky, particularly when dealing with stronger opponents or relying solely on one ally. Law 24, play by the rules. This law underscores the value of mastering the game's rules to rise to power. Historical courtiers excelled by manipulating within defined behaviors. Guidelines include avoiding bragging, using subtle flattery, adapting to situations, and controlling emotions. Examples: reveal successes like indirect warnings to emperors and Louis XIV architect's humility. Failures like Calistani's bluntness with Alexander the Great and Brummel's jest with a prince's caution against disregarding subtlety. Crucially, avoid getting caught in your strategies, as Talleyrand learned with Napoleon. Law 25, reinvent yourself. By assuming distinct appearances and emotions suitable for the context, individuals can take control of their image and redefine themselves. Principles involve self-awareness and devising a distinctive character, complete with a dramatic storyline for impact. Examples: figures in history such as Julius Caesar's theatrical tactics and George Sand's transformative pseudonym highlight the effectiveness of this approach. Exceptions: while this law has no exceptions, skillful execution is essential for success. Law 26, don't dirty your hands. Always shift blame using scapegoats and employ intermediaries known as cat's paws or fixes to perform undesirable actions. Concealing mistakes is pivotal for reputation preservation, as excuses and apologies can backfire. Examples: historical instances include Mao blaming associates and FDR using intermediaries for covert actions. By understanding the psychology of blame shifting and employing cat's paws, influential figures protect their reputation and achieve their goals while maintaining distance. Exceptions are rare, often involving strategic acknowledgement or intimidation. Law 27, create a cult following. This law delves into the psychology of followership, teaching how to form and manipulate a devoted following for power. By offering a vague but enticing cause mimicking religious structures, one can inspire people to rally around a charismatic leader. Examples: historical examples like Franz Mesmer's mesmerism illustrate how spectacle, hierarchy, and fabricated enemies can be exploited to create a cult-like following. Exceptions: while effective, the approach comes with the risk of backlash if the deception is unveiled. Law 28, act boldly. Boldness disguises weaknesses, intimidates opponents, and sweeps others along. Hesitation leads to doubt and obstacles. Many are timid due to a desire for approval, but practicing boldness, as Napoleon did, yields power. Exceptions involve tactical and controlled boldness, avoiding excess that might alienate. Historical examples like Pietro Aretino's audacious writing underscore how strategic boldness can lead to success, while heedless boldness can provoke a backlash. Law 29. Plan the ending. Greene advises always anticipating potential pitfalls, avoiding improvisation, and focusing on your clear, firm goal. Otto von Bismarck's strategy of creating a united Germany exemplifies this principle. By thinking ahead and resisting distractions, he achieved his objective while maintaining unity and security. Exceptions are few. A flexible plan is essential to adapt to unforeseen developments, but a clear goal and a far-sighted plan are crucial for success. Law 30. Make it seem easy. By concealing the labor behind your accomplishments, you inspire admiration and anticipation. Mastery lies in making the difficult look easy, as demonstrated by talented performers and great artists. Avoid revealing the hard work and effort, as it diminishes the magic and generates contempt. Examples: Talleyrand's calculated casualness and Houdini's hidden preparation showcase how to wield power through the illusion of ease. Exceptions include carefully planned revelations and avoiding excessive secrecy that could lead to appearing paranoid. Law 31. Set up a phony choice. Greene outlines creating a seemingly meaningful choice while subtly controlling the options to benefit your agenda. By limiting options, you give the illusion of choice without overwhelming individuals. Techniques include spinning choices in your favor, advocating for the opposite option, changing the playing field, shrinking options over time, emphasizing risks, and presenting two bad alternatives. Ivan the Terrible's manipulation of the Russian people to voluntarily grant him absolute power illustrates this principle. Exceptions may apply when observing opponent strategies. Law 32. Fulfill others' fantasies. People are drawn to attractive fantasies that offer instant transformation, adventure, peace, harmony, or resurrection. By presenting these fantasies at the right moment, you can attract followers, wealth, and power. Example: Bragadino's promise to multiply gold illustrates the impact of this law. Exceptions: caution is advised, as people can become disillusioned if they realize they are being deceived. Keeping stories vague and avoiding concrete promises can help mitigate risks. Law 33. Use others' weaknesses. Everyone possesses vulnerabilities, be they insecurities, emotions, or hidden pleasures. Identifying and manipulating these vulnerabilities offers leverage. Disguised weaknesses are most useful to target. Conversations, body language, and subtle cues reveal them. Exploiting emotional voids, like insecurity, wields control. Manipulating potent feelings such as greed or fear yields power. Examples: historical examples like art dealer Duveen and French regent Catherine de' Medici illustrate exploiting weaknesses. Exceptions anticipate backlash when exploiting intense emotions. Law 34. Act like royalty. Act regally to command respect and power. Exude self-assuredness as if destined for greatness, akin to a king's aura. Such confidence influences others, enabling requests to be granted. Distinguish yourself by adhering to regal norms and dignified behavior. Examples: Haile Selassie's rise illustrates this regal bearing. Use bold demands to signify worth, challenge influential figures to elevate yourself, and gift your superiors to establish equality. Columbus, projecting aristocratic confidence, secured support for his explorations. Exceptions: confidence beckons respect, but avoid arrogance and humiliation. Law 35. Get the timing right. Understand power's rhythm. Align with rising forces, anticipate reactions, and shift allegiances. Stay patient, se. Izing moments. Longview offers strategic insight, letting rivals stumble before you act. A systematic, flexible, and less emotional approach prevails. Force your adversary's hand, slow them down, or hurry them up to disrupt their timing. Lastly, act swiftly and decisively to conclude when the timing's right. Examples: Joseph Fouché's ability to navigate shifting leadership in France exemplifies timing's power. Law 36. Ignore small problems. Ignoring minor problems showcases power and superiority. Responding may worsen matters, attract undue attention, or elevate minor foes. Withholding attention frustrates attention seekers, sustaining your control. Dedicating energy to trivial matters invites pettiness and can elevate opponents. Avoid provoking sympathy or magnifying errors by leaving them be. Exceptions: choose silence to nullify nuisances. President Wilson's mishandling of Pancho Villa exemplifies the risk of magnifying minor issues. Exceptions include cautious dismissal to prevent lingering animosity. Law 37. Put on a show. Visuals and symbols wield greater impact than words alone. Employ compelling images and symbols that resonate emotionally to reinforce power. Connect with followers through evocative symbols, blending old and new associations. Shape these elements into a captivating spectacle that distracts and mesmerizes, fostering awe. Examples: Diane de Poitiers maintained King Henry II's devotion with powerful symbols, weaving their story into a mesmerizing tapestry. Law 38. Go along to get along. Refrain from openly flaunting unconventional beliefs or behaviors, as it can provoke retaliation. Instead, assimilate by concealing differing views and sharing them selectively with like-minded individuals. The act of appearing conventional allows you to navigate social norms smoothly. Even if you inwardly dissent, outward conformity is essential to prevent unnecessary conflicts. Versatility in social masks enables you to manipulate situations and people effectively. Examples: blend in to disarm others, gaining their trust and influence. During the Spanish Inquisition, Campanella learned the value of seemingly complying while subtly promoting his beliefs, highlighting the power of blending in. Exceptions exist for those already powerful or seeking deliberate attention. Law 39. Rattle your opponent. Deliberately triggering opponents' anger can expose their instability or incite foolish behavior. Employ tactics such as targeting pride or vanity to unsettle and exploit their reactions. Remain composed while your opponents falter, showcasing your ascendancy. Examples: remember Napoleon's decline due to losing his temper and how Haile Selassie used provocation strategically to defeat an adversary. Exceptions: approach with caution and ensure control when provoking others. Law 40. Use money as a tool. Money is a powerful tool in the pursuit of power. Use it to create alliances, obligations, and reputation. Receiving free gifts implies obligation, a power dynamic you can use. Employ gifting to build an aura of generosity and disarm others while enhancing your influence. Beware of money-related weaknesses such as greed, obsession with bargains, hardball playing, and excessive generosity. Examples: Spain's gold pursuit and the Duchess of Marlborough's mistakes underscore how money can distract from real power building. Learn from Baron James Rothschild's strategy of using money to win acceptance. Exceptions: understand money's value in pursuit of power and utilize it wisely. Law 41. Chart your own course. Successors following in the footsteps of great leaders or famous parents face challenges living up to the legacy. To break free from their shadow and achieve power, they must carve out their own distinct identity and style. Disparage the past to create contrast, using symbols and rituals to distance yourself. Physically reject precedent and embrace bold decisions. Seek voids to fill with your unique approach and remain adaptable. Avoid slipping back into the past and stay vigilant against rising rivals. Examples: Alexander the Great's departure from his father's ways exemplifies the effectiveness of charting your own course. Law 42. Squelch the troublemaker. Troublemakers in groups can sow discord and jeopardize your power. Identify and isolate them to prevent their influence from spreading. Trouble often starts with charismatic complainers who gain followers. Separate them from their power base using political, psychological, or physical means. Employ distraction and deception to remove them from the group's context. Examples: Athens used annual events to banish troublemakers, restoring harmony. Exceptions: be cautious of isolating enemies who could return with revenge. Instead, undercut their support while keeping them within reach. Remember that quelling trouble quickly is essential to maintaining power. Law 43, win hearts and minds. To maintain power effectively, winning people's hearts and minds is essential. Force may work in the short term, but voluntary compliance is more sustainable. Understand individual psychology and emotions, targeting strong feelings like hate, envy, and love. Stir emotions by acting unexpectedly or addressing fears and despair. Effective strategies include symbolic gestures, appealing to self-interest, and building broad support. Examples: avoid dismissing people's concerns like Marie Antoinette, which can lead to resentment and downfall. Always prioritize connecting emotionally and building goodwill to secure long-term power. Law 44, mirror others' emotions. Utilize the mirroring technique to influence and control others. By reflecting on opponents' actions or emotions, you can confuse their strategies and distract them. Apply this method to charm, manipulate, and deceive. Instead of dominating conversations, mirror the feelings, interests, and values of others. This creates a sense of understanding and connection, making them more receptive to your influence. Examples: study their behaviors, habits, and preferences to mirror them effectively. Exceptions: be cautious not to overdo mirroring, as authenticity is crucial for success. However, avoid being pigeonholed into mirroring situations that don't align with your objectives. Law 45, enact changes slowly. While change is necessary, sudden upheaval can incite resistance. People cling to routine and familiarity. Gradual change with nods to tradition and comforting appearances garners acceptance. Publicly revere past values and create new rituals linked to history. Predict and manage backlash. Examples: Mao Zedong applied this by merging communism with Chinese heritage, legitimizing his rule. Exceptions: come in during stagnant times and when people crave change. In such cases, proceed cautiously and expect backlash. Law 46, watch for envy. Success breeds envy, as others' inflated self-worth gets punctured by your achievement. Recognize signs of jealousy, subtle criticism, excessive praise, or quiet undermining, especially from close ones. To diffuse envy, admit flaws, emphasize luck, or downplay talent. Beware of envy's potential harm, forestall it to avoid destructive outcomes. Examples: learn from J.M.W. Turner, who toned down colors to quell rival artists' envy. George Washington's humility bolstered popularity, while Sir Walter Raleigh suffered for disregarding enemies. Exceptions: aggressive defiance can counter envy when in power. Law 47, know when to stop. After achieving victory, the impulse to push further can be perilous. Resisting this urge and halting to consolidate gains distinguishes the powerful. Victory introduces risks due to emotional recklessness and the allure of unchecked expansion. Beware of others encouraging overreach. Success involves reason, acknowledging luck's role, and adapting to changing circumstances. Examples: Madame de Pompadour's mastery exemplifies stopping after victory, building alliances, and adapting strategies. Exceptions include fully defeating enemies and avoiding momentum-driven irrationality. Law 48, be elusive. To maintain an edge, be fluid, flexible, and unpredictable, shapeless. This thwarts enemies from understanding or countering you, ensuring maneuverability. Shunning rigid systems, adapt based on circumstances. T. Lawrence applied formlessness in guerrilla warfare, confounding enemies in World War I. Employed beyond war, formlessness hampers foes by presenting no clear target. Control emotions and embrace unreadability, like James Rothschild's composed demeanor in a hostile environment. Examples: like Japan's covert adaptation to foreign cultures, formlessness maintains initiative, forcing adversaries to react. Relying on inflexible defenses proves vulnerable against agile, shape-shifting rivals. Now, are you ready to master the timeless game of power? Let us know in the comments if these laws resonate with you. While at it, hit that like button, share widely, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Also, keep an eye out for our future book summaries. In the meantime, check out our past videos. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening, and please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and also click the small bell icon to receive a notification every time a new free audiobook has arrived. Thanks again.